Think about it, most people blame everything around them for why they're not where they want to be. They'll point to their family, their environment, their past mistakes, even the economy. But if you strip it all away, you realize the harsh truth. The only real limitation is you, and that's not meant to discourage you. That should empower you. Because if you are the limitation, that also means you are the solution. You are the one who decides whether you're going to keep repeating the same patterns or finally break them. You're the one who chooses whether today is wasted or invested, and here's the part most people don't see. Your mind is incredibly powerful. If you keep telling yourself you can't, you won't. If you start telling yourself you can and then back it with consistent action, your brain literally begins to rewire itself to support that new reality. So when you feel stuck, when you feel like the world is against you, stop looking outward for the problem. Look inward, because the moment you decide to stop being your own obstacle is the moment you begin to create unstoppable momentum. Here's the reality: time does not care about your excuses, your fears, or your hesitation. 2025 is moving forward whether you're ready or not. Every single day is ticking away, and you don't get those days back. Most people live like they have unlimited time, as if someday they'll finally start, someday they'll finally commit, someday they'll finally get serious. But someday is not a day on the calendar. The truth is, while you're waiting for the perfect moment, the days are slipping through your fingers. And here's what you need to understand: the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Your body doesn't pause. Your opportunities don't pause, your life doesn't pause. Time keeps moving, and if you don't move with it, you fall behind. So stop treating time like it's on your side. It's not. You either use it with intention, or you lose it forever. That's why urgency is everything. When you grasp that each day is a once-in-a-lifetime event, you stop wasting it. You stop postponing your future. You stop waiting for permission. You start acting now, because now is all you truly have. Most people live as if they'll get another shot, like life is some kind of practice round before the real thing begins. But this isn't a rehearsal, this is it. Every day you wake up is part of the actual performance, and there are no do-overs. Think about how many times you've said, "I'll start tomorrow," or "next week will be different." That mindset is dangerous because it tricks you into believing you'll always get another chance. The truth is you won't. Once today is gone, it's gone, and the pain of regret is always heavier than the effort it would have taken to just do it now. Your body doesn't get younger, your opportunities don't stay open forever, and your dreams don't wait in line for you to finally show up. The people who change their lives are the ones who realize that today is the only chance they have to act. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. And when you treat every single day like it matters, like it's your only shot, that's when your life begins to shift in ways you never imagined possible. Every single choice you make is shaping the direction of your life, whether you notice it or not. The food you put in your body, the thoughts you allow in your mind, the people you spend your time with, the habits you repeat, these are not small things. They are bricks, and every day you're laying them down to build either a strong foundation or a fragile one. Most people underestimate how powerful these tiny daily decisions are. They think success comes from one big breakthrough, when in reality it's built from the accumulation of consistent, simple choices made over and over again. Eat junk every day, and your body pays the price. Waste hours scrolling, and your future pays the price. But if you start choosing discipline, choosing health, choosing focus, choosing growth, you create momentum. And that momentum compounds into a completely different life. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Every decision is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. So the question is, with the choices you're making right now, What kind of future are you building? Excuses are the silent killers of potential. They sound reasonable in the moment. You're tired, you had a long day, you'll do it tomorrow. But what they really do is strip away your future one small decision at a time. Your body doesn't care about excuses. If you keep putting in the wrong fuel, it breaks down. Your dreams don't care about excuses. If you keep delaying action, they fade away. Excuses might make you feel comfortable for a moment, but they leave you uncomfortable for a lifetime. And here's the problem. The more you practice excuses, the better you get at them. They become automatic, almost like a reflex, and before you realize it, you've trained yourself to justify staying stuck. But when you stop negotiating with excuses and start demanding results, everything changes. You discover that the energy you waste rationalizing why you can't is the same energy you could use to figure out how you can. Success doesn't come to the one with the best excuse, it comes to the one who refuses to make any. 1 year of absolute commitment can change everything, but most people never give themselves that chance. They start strong, they get excited, but then they let distraction, comfort, or doubt pull them back. Imagine if for just 12 months you gave your best no half effort, no quitting after a few weeks, no, I'll start again next month, just 1 solid year of showing up for yourself every single day. Do you realize how different your body could look? How much sharper your mind could be? How much more confident you could feel? A year is long enough to completely rebuild your health, your habits, your finances, even your identity. But here's the catch. It requires consistency, not perfection. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to refuse to stop. Because momentum compounds, every workout, every meal choice, every disciplined decision builds on the last one. And if you stay with it, 2025 won't just be another year. It will be the year you finally broke the cycle and created a version of yourself you didn't think was possible. Your body and your mind are the foundation for everything else in your life, and if that foundation is weak, nothing you build will last. You can't expect to chase your goals with energy if you're constantly drained, eating foods that pull you down, or neglecting your health. You can't expect to stay focused if your mind is cluttered with negativity, stress, and distraction. Most people try to fix the surface, more money, more success, more recognition without addressing the core. But when your body is strong, when you fuel it with the right foods, when your mind is clear because you've cut out the junk thoughts just like you cut out the junk food, you unlock a level of energy and focus that changes everything. Health is not just about living longer, it's about living sharper, living with clarity, and living with the strength to actually pursue the life you say you want. If you ignore your foundation, you'll always struggle, but if you build it strong, everything else becomes easier because you're operating from a place of strength, not weakness. Greatness doesn't come from luck, and it doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from self-respect. When you respect yourself, you don't tolerate mediocrity. You don't keep breaking promises to yourself. You don't treat your body like it's disposable or your goals like they don't matter. Respect means discipline. It means saying no when it's easier to say yes. It means choosing growth over comfort, even when no one is watching. And here's the truth. The way you treat yourself teaches the world how to treat you. If you show up sloppy for your own life, if you keep settling for less, the world will hand you less. But when you raise your standards, when you decide, I will not accept anything below my potential, everything begins to shift. You start attracting better opportunities, stronger relationships, and deeper fulfillment. Self-respect is the root of greatness because it forces you to live in alignment with the person you know you're capable of becoming. And when that clicks, mediocrity is no longer even an option. Change doesn't come from luck. It doesn't come from waiting for the stars to align. It comes from a decision. Too many people keep saying, when things calm down, when I feel ready, when life gets easier, then I'll start, but that moment never arrives because life doesn't hand you perfect conditions. Waiting for the right time is just another form of procrastination dressed up as logic. The truth is, the right time is the moment you decide. Change is not about circumstances, it's about choice. You can choose today to break the cycle. You can choose today to demand more from yourself. You can choose today to no longer be controlled by old habits and excuses. And when you make that decision with absolute commitment, the universe responds differently. Doors start to open, opportunities appear, energy rises, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. Change has always been in your hands. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's not fate. It's the power of deciding that your future will not look like your past. You owe it to yourself, not to anyone else. This is one of the hardest truths for people to accept because so many live their entire lives for others, for approval, for validation, for recognition. They want their parents to be proud, their friends to respect them, society to accept them, and in the process they forget the most important person in the equation, themselves. The reality is that nobody can live your life for you. Nobody else feels what it's like to wake up in your body, to carry your thoughts, to deal with your habits, to face your regrets. That's your reality, and if you don't step up for yourself, no one else can do it for you. Think about it. How many times have you put yourself last? You gave your time to everyone else's demands, your energy to everyone else's expectations, and then told yourself you'll get to your own goals later. But later never came, and what's worse is that when you sacrifice yourself like that, the people you're doing it for often don't even notice the depth of what you've given up. You're left drained, exhausted, and further away from the person you're meant to be. That's why this shift in perspective is so important. Your first responsibility is to yourself. When you thrive, you can give more to others. But when you neglect yourself, you shortchange not only your own life, but also everyone who depends on you. There is a version of you that is stronger, healthier, and more alive than you can imagine. That version doesn't come from trying to impress others. It comes from owning the responsibility you have to yourself. You owe it to yourself to eat the food that nourishes your body, not the food that slowly destroys it. You owe it to yourself to move, to strengthen your muscles, to fuel your brain, because this is the only body you'll ever get. You owe it to yourself to stop poisoning your energy with negative self-talk and toxic habits that rob you of vitality. When you choose discipline, when you choose growth, when you choose health, you are paying a debt to yourself, a debt that no one else can ever pay. Some people think self-discipline is punishment, that it's restrictive, but in reality, it's freedom. It's saying, I respect myself enough to give myself the best. Think about how powerful that is. Every time you choose the better option, you are proving to yourself that you matter, that your future matters, that your potential matters. It's no longer about doing it for applause, for likes, for recognition. It's about doing it because you are worthy of living at your highest level. You can't outsource that responsibility, you can't delegate it, you can't wait for someone to come and push you. Because nobody else wakes up in your shoes, nobody else faces the mirror with your reflection. That's all you. Now, here's something most people miss. When you put yourself first, not in a selfish way, but in a disciplined, respectful way, everything else in your life improves. Your relationships get stronger because you show up with more energy, more clarity, more confidence. Your work improves because your focus is sharper, your creativity is alive, your opportunities grow because people are drawn to someone who clearly values themselves. In other words, when you pay the debt you owe yourself, the interest spills over into every area of your life. And yet, the reverse is also true. Neglect yourself, and everything else begins to crumble. A weak foundation eventually makes the whole structure fall. There will always be people who don't understand why you're doing it. They'll call you extreme for being disciplined. They'll say you've changed. They'll make comments like, "Why are you so serious? Why can't you just relax?" But here's the truth. Those voices usually come from people who are secretly afraid to face their own reflection. They'd rather you stay average because it makes them comfortable with their own choices. But you don't owe them comfort. You don't owe them compromise. You owe it to yourself to step into the version of you that makes you proud to wake up in the morning. Every sacrifice you make today is not really a sacrifice. It's an investment. Saying no to junk food, no to laziness, no to wasted time, it's not punishment. It's proof that you value your future self. Imagine yourself 1 year from now looking back. Will that version of you thank you for the discipline you practiced, or will they resent you for the excuses you made? Because the truth is, you're not just living for the present you. You're building a life for the future you. And the future you is depending on you to stop playing small. This is where accountability becomes real. You can fool your friends, you can fool your family, but you can't fool yourself. Deep down, you know when you've given less than your best. You know when you've let yourself down, and those little betrayals add up. They chip away at your confidence until you no longer believe in your own word. But the reverse is also true when you start keeping promises to yourself. When you prove through action that you mean what you say, your confidence grows. You start to trust yourself again. And that trust is priceless, because it becomes the fuel for everything else you achieve. Most people spend their entire lives trying to live up to someone else's expectations. But let me ask you this: what about your own expectations? What about the standards you have for yourself? Why is everyone else's opinion more important than your own? The truth is, it isn't. The truth is, the only person you need to prove yourself to is you. When you lay your head on the pillow at night, it doesn't matter how many people liked your post, how many people clapped for you, how many people approved. What matters is whether you can honestly say to yourself, "I gave my best today." That's what you owe yourself. That's the real measure of success. And don't confuse this with perfection. You don't owe yourself perfection. You owe yourself effort. You owe yourself honesty. You owe yourself the refusal to quit just because it got hard. The reality is, life will knock you down. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. But when you respect yourself enough to keep going, when you pick yourself back up because you know your life is worth it, that's when you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Most people stay down when they fall, but you owe it to yourself to rise. Think about all the potential inside you that's been left untapped. The ideas you never acted on, the talents you never developed, the opportunities you never chased, they're still there waiting. But they won't wait forever, and no one else can unlock them for you. You can be surrounded by the most supportive people in the world, and still, if you don't step up, nothing changes. Because the truth is, you are the key. You're the one who has to take the action, build the habits, make the changes. And when you finally embrace that, when you stop waiting for someone to come save you, you reclaim your power. There's a saying that the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you realize why. But I'd take it even further. The most important day is the day you realize that living fully is your responsibility. No one else can do it for you. Your parents gave you life, but what you do with it is your choice. Your teachers may have given you knowledge, but applying it is your choice. Your mentors may inspire you, but discipline is your choice. You owe it to yourself to take everything you've been given and multiply it, to leave this world better than you found it, to live at a level that makes you proud of your story. You've probably noticed that the most fulfilled people aren't the ones who chase approval. They're the ones who know exactly who they are and what they stand for. That's because fulfillment comes from alignment. It comes from living in a way that matches your values, your goals, your highest potential. And the only way to get there is to honor the debt you owe yourself, to stop ignoring your health, to stop silencing your dreams, to stop pretending that average is enough because it isn't. Not for you. You know deep down you were made for more. That quiet voice inside that keeps whispering, you're capable of more. That's the truth trying to wake you up. Don't silence it anymore. In the end, it's not about anyone else. It's not about proving the doubters wrong or making the supporters proud. It's about proving yourself right. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing someone who didn't settle, someone who fought for their potential, someone who didn't waste the one life they were given. You owe yourself that level of respect. You owe yourself that level of commitment. Because when the year ends, when 2025 is behind you, the only question that will matter is, did you do it for you, or did you keep waiting for someone else to hand you permission? So here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream about. It's on you. 2025 can either become the year you finally wake up and honor the potential you've been carrying all along, or it can become just another year wasted in excuses, distractions, and maybe altars. The difference is the choice you make right now. You owe it to yourself to stop waiting, to stop shrinking, to stop handing away your power. You owe it to yourself to rise, to push, to discipline yourself, and to claim the life that's been waiting for you. Because, at the end of the day, it's not about proving anyone wrong or right. It's about proving to yourself that you had the courage to step into your greatness. This is your year, this is your time, and no one else can live it for you. You owe it to yourself.